All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Don't look now, folks, but the New York Giants actually have a winning streak on their hands. The Giants defeated the Philadelphia Eagles today at MetLife Stadium by the score of 27 to 17 to improve their record to 3-7 as they've won their last two contests. Second-year quarterback Daniel Jones had the best game of his young career so far. He was 21 of 28 passing for 244 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 picks. But he also had 64 yards on the ground, which included a 34-yard touchdown scamper. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, he didn't throw any touchdowns. How could that be his best game? I'll tell you like this. If you've seen Daniel Jones so far, one problem that he has, he tends to force the football, and, it's one of those where he tries to make a play where there isn't a play to be made. He played smart. He played within the system. He took several sacks. He got out of the pocket. He threw the ball away, and he also used his legs. That right there helped this team. Why? Because he didn't set up his defense in a bad spot. It's okay to punt. And we saw the Giants punt several times today. Riley Dixon punted the football and pinned the Eagles back within their own 10-yard line. It's tougher to beat a team if you have to drive the length of the field to score a touchdown as opposed to having to go 30 or 35 yards. That is a difference right there in taking a sack and throwing the football away and simply living to fight another day. Why was that important? Because today the Giants defense held this Eagles offense to 0 for 9 on third down. That's huge right there. Okay, and you look at the coaching, and I know that the Giants are 3-7, but I really think that they're heading in the right direction with Joe Judge as their head coach. I think, Giants general manager Dave Gettleman has gotten a lot of criticism, and he's basically deserved all of it for some of his moves during his tenure as a Giants GM. However, I think he got it right in hiring Joe Judge. Joe Judge is a no-nonsense guy first and foremost, but on top of that, he holds his guys accountable. But make no mistake about it, this team is prepared to compete every single week. And you don't do that if you don't believe in what your coach is telling you throughout the week. So I think kudos to Joe Judge, and I think he is headed in the right direction as far as getting this thing turned around for one of the storied franchises in the National Football League. Jason Garrett, the Giants offensive coordinator, of course, he spent many years as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and he is the guy who is going to be consistently in the ear of the youngster quarterback Daniel Jones. And we've seen Daniel Jones make some mistakes so far this season. However, Jason Garrett has done a good job of coaching this guy up, and he's going to do that. He's going to continue to do that going forward. Daniel Jones, at this point in his career, is not a guy who can consistently make plays from the pocket with his arm. And I don't see Daniel Jones as being a future NFL MVP. I was never high on the pick. However, you know what? This is who you're taking to the prom if you're the Giants. So this is going to be your quarterback going forward. Jason Garrett has adjusted his play calling to the strengths of Daniel Jones. And right now, at this point in Jones's career, his strengths are the zone read and running with the football and throwing off of play action. We saw the Giants run a little bit more today. Of course, they had success with that versus the Philadelphia Eagles with the legs of Daniel Jones several weeks ago when they lost 22-21. And it's a situation for Garrett. You know what? If this guy can run and he is athletic as he is, utilize it. Daniel Jones is not a guy that can sit back there in the pocket and pick you apart. He doesn't have good pocket awareness. He doesn't have that vision down the field yet, and he is not, at the top of the game as far as being able to read opposing defenses and pick them apart. So you know what? At the end of the day, use his strengths, maximize his weaknesses in order to try to go out there and win games. You also look at what defensive coordinator Patrick Graham has done. The Giants have a bend but don't break philosophy on defense. They let you do whatever you want to do from 20-yard line to 20-yard line, but once they get down to the red zone, they clamp it up. As the season has progressed, we've seen better play from their defensive line with the likes of Leonard Williams leading the way. They're solid in the secondary with the likes of Logan Ryan and James Bradbury. And Blake Martinez is giving them a presence at middle linebacker, which is something they have not had in recent seasons. And I say it like this. This team knows how to compete. I said it before and I'll say it again. The Giants have basically been in every game. They simply have been unable to get over the hump. You go back to the Dallas loss, very tough loss. The Philly loss, another tough loss. The Chicago loss, another tough loss. The Rams and the Bucks. The Giants had an opportunity to win all of these contests and they could not seal the deal because this is a young team that still doesn't know how to win. This was a big win for them today. I know they're 3-7. Of course, if they were in any other division in the NFL, we would not be talking about them like this. But they still have a puncher's chance to win this division due to the fact that the NFC East is so crappy. They're 2 games in the loss column behind Philly because Philly's still now 3-5-1. They're still in first place. They're tied for them with the win column. And I know that the Giants have a very tough schedule coming up. They have their bye coming up for week number 11. But after that, at Cincinnati. And I know that Cincy has only won 2 games this year. However, the Giants have never defeated the Bengals on the road in their history. So that is going to be a very tough game. And if you've watched the Bengals play so far this year, they have been a tough out every single week. Consecutive games versus the NFC West, at the Seattle Seahawks, and then home versus the Arizona Cardinals. Those games will not be easy. Then consecutive home games, actually games with the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens. Both of these teams are in the mix to make the playoffs as wild cards coming out of the AFC North. So they're going to be tough. And then they finish up against the Dallas Cowboys. We might see a situation where the Giants are 5-11 or 6-10, but that still might be enough to win the NFC East. That's how bad it has been this season. Washington's 2-7. You look at the struggles of the Dallas Cowboys, and like I said, Philly's 3-5-1. So the Giants are right in that mix. You look at that schedule and say, well, you know what? It's not looking good for the Giants. But at the same time, guess what? Nobody else wants to take control of this division. So you just have to ask yourself, top 10 pick, or you're hosting a playoff game come January. That's the options right now if you win the NFC East or if you fall even to second place in the NFC East. That's how bad it is. What happens? I'll tell you like this. The Giants have a puncher's chance coming down the stretch. First and foremost, they're going to compete under head coach Joe Judge. You look at the way they play defense, and at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Daniel Jones. And I say that from the standpoint, don't make the situation bigger than what it is. And I say that for Daniel Jones. He's not a guy that's going to put this team on his back. He hasn't shown that at this point in his career. I don't ever think that he's going to be that type of player. If the Giants can consistently find a way to maximize his strengths and hide his weaknesses as much as possible, because eventually teams are going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to make this guy beat us from the pocket. But if the Giants can still find a way to maximize his strengths coming down the stretch, which is running, getting out of the pocket and making plays and limiting his time in the pocket, they definitely have a chance to make the postseason out of this division. Stranger things have happened. I know people feel that way due to the year that it currently is right now. However, the Giants have a puncher's chance, and with the rest of November and December still on the slate in this NFL regular season, anything is possible. Big Blue is right in the mix to win this division. So why not them? And why not they seize the moment and get the most of this opportunity to potentially be division champs in 2020. So folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of the subscribers out there. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.